This man had 1 kilogram of grapes last year, whereas this year, actually he has 20 tons of grapes. Naturally, this grower will stay in his village, whereas the other will leave the village unless he has an anti-hail net or he is insured against hail. I've been a grower for 22 years. We are a family of 6. My wife is a teacher and my children are still young. One of them is in 9th grade, the other in 7th grade, and the third has started 1st grade this year. Now I have to cultivate my vineyard in order to keep up with the children's expenses. We are usually busy in the vineyard from February 1st till October 10th, but a half-hour hail can destroy all the hard work of 1 year. This year, hail destroyed a fellow villager's 3,000 square meter vineyard completely, and consequently he was deprived of grapes. I have a vineyard of 3,000 square meters. Hail destroyed it completely. There was a ground frost a month ago, because of which one part of the vineyard was spoiled, while the other part was also damaged due to the impending hail 3 days ago. In 3 of the last 4 years, the crops have been damaged by hail. The villager has had a harvest only once. This year in May, hail and heavy rain were registered in the region of Davush, and consequently the communities Aykehovid, Gitavan, Azatamut and Davush suffered because of this. The communities of Getahovid, Ganzasar and Aknakbur suffered lightly as well. In the frame of Disaster Risk Reduction National Platform and in cooperation with UNDP DRR Project, Ministry of Emergency Situations, World Visioner Armenia and Markets for Maghreb Project, the Antihail net installation pilot project was initiated. It was implemented at the start of this year in the region of Davush in Aykehovid and Davush communities and in Alavan community in the region of Syunik, where 3 farmers agreed to place the anti-hail nets in their vineyards. One section of my vineyard is not covered by anti-hail nets. The cameraman will show you now. Because of hail, there is neither grape nor any replacement for it for the next year. We don't know what we're going to do. If all the vineyards are covered by anti-hail nets, we will be able to deliver 500 to 600 tons of grapes from the vineyards of the community to the cognac factory. And still, that won't be the maximum number, because the villagers use the grapes as well in their everyday life. This means that we will be able to harvest approximately 1,000 tons of crops, and that will definitely be a success for my community. We can be sure that the villagers who deal with viticulture will be able to secure their minimum requirements and will therefore stay in the village. Would you still deal with viticulture if the anti-hail net and the saved crops didn't exist? I don't think so. We would leave the village. For 4 continual years, my vineyard has been damaged by hail, and the maximum amount of grapes that I've harvested from my 4,500 square meter vineyard has been 400 kilograms only. This year, I got convinced that the anti-hail nets were very productive, since hail damaged the vineyards of my neighbor farmers, while I harvest at least 15 tons of grapes thanks to the anti-hail nets, and that makes me continue being a grower in the future as well. The nets will be available for another 10 to 12 years. Next year, I'm sure that I'll already have 20 to 25 tons of grapes. It doesn't feel right that my vineyard is protected thanks to the nets, while my neighbor's is being destroyed. If I have crops where my neighbor doesn't, that means that I also don't have crops. The cost of 100 meters of the anti-hail net is about $140. If we divide this sum into 10 years, then the villager ends up investing only $14 yearly in each row. And in return, as far as safety is concerned, 80 to 90% of the vineyards are protected. World Vision has already been in Armenia for 25 years. It has fulfilled various projects in many areas. One of its latest projects was the provision of anti-hail nets for the two communities of the region of Davush. This project is both cooperative and experimental. After the last hail, it can be clearly seen how productive it is. I saw this vineyard covered with anti-hail nets for the first time today, as my vineyard is not nearby. This is a magnificent initiative. I'm amazed. It's as if they've dressed someone into new clothes in order to make him feel safe with others, in order to make him feel as if he's someone. These nets prove that our vineyards can be protected against the risk which has become a real scourge for villagers, the hail, because in 1 minute it destroys and removes the villagers' livelihood of a whole year.